Hello, Prince. You're not audible. Hi, Prince. Okay. Hi, Prince. You can speak now.
Okay,
You're
so
audible.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Prince.
Yes. So I need my other device unmuted.
All right. I'll do just that.
Okay, Sophia, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Kindly confirm everybody can you hear me now? Yes,
I can
fantastic.
hear.
So good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's session. Today is where we get to dive into a lot of interesting topics. And today, what we'll be looking at is we'll be looking at some interesting topic that will shed more light upon. But I can see we have a lot of people in the chat box. So if you are just joining for the very first time, I want you to drop one in the chat box. So I'll know those that are joining us or hearing about analytics for the very first time. I want you to drop a one in the chat and I'll be able to identify those that are just joining or the JJCs. Okay. We have a lot of JJCs, trust me. We have a lot of ones coming in the chat. And trust me, you are really in the right spot because today you'll be amazed about, I believe you saw some of the videos, testimonials that was playing before the session start about students that they got a job miraculously. So I'm glad to tell you that these things are not miracle. And what you will be having today is going to be a detailed breakdown of how we actually help our students to secure all these jobs, right? So this is what we'll be talking about today, showcasing our students that have been able to go through the training and still in the training. And while they're in the training, they will show you things they've been able to work on. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Kindly let me know where you can see my screen, Sophia. Right. Can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay, awesome. So, like I was saying, today we are going to be talking about people, students that have been able to go through the program, are still in the program, and while they're still in the program, they are showing you things, projects that they are working on, projects that will facilitate that give them the opportunity to see themselves transitioning. Okay, so today, that's what we'll be talking about, and what we're looking at, we're talking about that the organization that we're looking at that is talking that we are reaching out from. This is Analytics. And when we're looking at Analytics, Analytics is an ed tech company that we help and we specialize in helping students that have no technical background, helping them to transition into the tech space without prior experience or prior knowledge. And we've been doing this for over 4 years, close to 5 years now. And while we're at this, we've been able to help well over close to 3,000 people that have no technical background. They have no experience at all in tech space. We've been able to take them from that spot into landing their first role in the tech space. And we were able to take them from the classroom to landing their first job in the tech space. And when you're looking at all these things, we are really committed to making this a very, very much solid in the sector in such that we're able to take students to go through any sector of the economy. We're looking at the data analysis, the business analysis, the data engineering, the data science, that's the full stack data scientist. You have the financial analysis, you have the HR analytics, then you have the HR project management and the cybersecurity, and soon to come, the AI engineering, and if you're looking at the program itself, how knowledge is being passed across, this is being facilitated by professionals, top professionals in top companies, in leading global top companies like Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and so lot of them. So today, you'll be having that first-hand experience of how exactly it is like. And when you're looking at me, myself, that I'm talking, my name is Muideen Adiakoni, and I'll be the one that will be guiding us through today's project and walking us through how we'll be able to, um learn what we're looking at talking about. And when you're looking at myself, I have experience as a data analyst. I was also work as a business intelligence analyst with a lot of companies, both in the health tech, in the finance space, in logistics, even in the FMCG and in health tech. And today with me, we have my colleague, my fantastic colleague. But before I mention them, what we're looking at learning today is we'll be showcasing some of our students that have been able to join the program. As while 3 months into the program, they will tell you what they've been able to learn and how we've been able to be of impact into their career path and their journey. We'll show you them, they will show you themselves what they've been able to do. Then we'll also walk you through what we call the in-demand skills, the skills that you need to be able to see yourself transitioning from wherever you are to landing your first role in the tech space. Then also we show you students, just like the ones you've seen before, we show you students that have been able to go through the program and get themselves in that spot. Then for those, only for those that wait to the end of the program, you'll also be having opportunity to get a special discount for the cohorts that is coming next in July, this particular month that we're in, right? So you want to make sure that you stay to the end of the program, so you'll be able to get offered to these discounts. And while we'll continue with the program, you will always see from time to time, my colleague will drop a Google form in the chat box. So what you want to make sure is you want to make sure you complete this form so that everything we do here, both the video, both the slides and information that the students will share, you'll be able to have access to them, and this information will be shared to your emails. So make sure you complete the form and you follow through. All right. So I'll be handing over to my colleague. First, I have two of them, fantastic ladies in tech. First lady is a fantastic project manager with fantastic record. I won't say anything. She will be the one to introduce herself. And the other one, she's a phenomenal data analyst. That she has a lot of accomplishment under her belt. All right. So taking that mantle, I would Sophia, are you with me?
Yes,
Sophia?
Muideen. Yes, I'm with
All right,
you.
fantastic. So Sophia is going to do that's fantastic introduction, and she'll be able to introduce herself and tell you how phenomenal she is. All right, Sophia?
All right. Thank you very much, Muideen. Thank you very much for that warm introduction. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see
All
it.
right, great. All right, great. So welcome everybody. I am absolutely delighted about this particular session because I mean, I love sessions that, you know, that showcases milestones, that showcases you being from zero and you being an hero right now. So this session is one very session that is dear to me, and I'm very, very excited to have, phenomenal individuals in our program showcase what they've learned in the past 3 months. Yes, in the space of 3 months, we're going to be showing you everything that they've been up to, just like Muideen has said. So myself and my other colleague will be anchoring this particular session, and we'll be interacting with our students that are going to be showing you these things that they've been up to. And my screen that you can see here is me. And my name is Sophia. I am a passionate educator, and I have a diverse background in product management, end-to-end administration, and agile project management. And with close to a decade of experience in the world of technology and management, I have thrived in the data space and have been instrumental in helping individuals navigate the complex tech space and guiding them to success eventually. And I have a strong commitment to career transformation, and I've helped over 200 individuals transition into tech, transition from the classroom into their first tech jobs. So not to worry, you know what, you just want to take your glass cup of juice or you have your coffee and just relax, this session promises to be very much fulfilled. And the next person that you'll be seeing on your screen with us today is my amazing colleague, and this is her on my screen. Her name is Oyindamola, and Oyindamola is a multifaceted professional with a diverse experience in data analytics, education, and marketing. And she has half a decade of experience as a data analyst, and she has taught data analytics, and she has also honed her skills in both analyzing data and imparting the knowledge to others. And she has consistently demonstrated expertise in program management, operations management, and data-related fields. And Oyindamola is passionate about helping people, and she loves to see people, explore the diverse endless opportunities that they have in them. Do you understand? So Oyindamola will be that person that would be speaking to our participants across the data analytics program, data engineering program, and the Agile project management program. So I'll be introducing our participants here, and my colleague Oyindamola would take it up from here. So the first person we have is Anthony Iwaje from the Agile project management program. Please, Anthony, kindly confirm you're here. Hello, Oyindamola, are you there?
Yes, hi, Sophia, I am here. Hello, everyone. Hi, Tony. Good evening or afternoon or morning, anytime you're in. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so can you share your screen from your hand? So we have the first slide that takes the pictures of all our participants here.
Definitely, we'll do that in a minute.
Yeah, first what's in my slide. Okay, so while Oyindamola populates our screen, let's just confirm that we have all our participants ready and ready to dive into the business of today before I particularly hand them over to Oyindamola, and eventually Muideen tells you all the amazing opportunities and how you can be the next person on the screen right now, showcasing what you've been up to, So yes, Anthony, please confirm you are here.
Yeah, I'm here, Sophia. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, you're loud and clear. Okay, so the next.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone on the call. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Have you? Okay, so when it's your turn, you have to turn on your camera. Well, now let's just confirm that we have all three participants present. So Taiwo from the data analytics program, please confirm you are here as well. Hello, Taiwo.
Yeah, hi, Sophia. Yeah, hi, Sophia.
All right.
Good afternoon. I'm here. I'm present. Thank you.
All right. Good to know. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, Busayo, are you here as well? Hello,
yes,
Busayo.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, I'm here. Good evening.
Okay. All right. Good evening. Good to have you here. So before our participants come on and turn on their camera and you get to put a face to the picture you're seeing on the screen, we just thought to show you their pictures, and you are expectant of the amazing things they're about to show you. They're about to wow you. So the first person would have on deck would be Taiwo Tolulope from the data analytics program. Over to you, Taiwo. Please do your magic, and we trust you to give us all the wonderful insights and share the projects that you've been up to. Oyindamola, over to you while you ask questions from the projects that they'll walk us through. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Hi, Taiwo. So you have access to share your screen. Tell us what you have been working on really since being at analytics.
Okay. Hi. Okay. I never knew I was going to go first, but thank you very much. Good evening. Okay. Let me just show my face here. I don't know if you can see me, although I think the screen is a little dark. All right. Okay. I don't know. Can you see my screen?
We can see your face, but not your screen. Not quite your screen, not yet. Should be coming up anytime soon. Yes, it's coming up.
Okay. So I think my screen is quite clear right now.
Yes, it's coming up. Okay.
How about now?
Yes, it is amazing coming up. We can see it in full screen.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. My name is Tulu Lokwe Taiwo. Yeah, so I'll be sharing my uh, work that I've done so far from analytics. So I'm from the data analytics cohort. I did my project in electronic sales analysis. So uh, the overview of the project was okay. I don't know if I can also share you the. Okay, let me just start from this. Thank you. Sorry. All right. Yeah, we're given a task to get a comprehensive visual representation for the company that is involved in tech. They are into microchips and sensors and robotics. So in the sales of that, so they wanted to find out how they performed during the year. So we're told to prepare a user-friendly dashboard that displays essential KPIs such as month to date, and then that encapsulates key findings on sales performance, uh, customer insights, and profitability. So that was the objective of the study. So the first thing we have to do. Okay, sorry, please. Before I proceed, I just want to confirm, like, how many minutes do I have so I can know how to.
So you have just about 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So this is actually the dashboard that I created for Tektronix analysis. Tektronix, rather, sorry. So we have the profits month to date, the revenue month to date. We have the KPIs, the total quantity sold, the total revenue that came into the company, the total profits, and then the production cost. So looking at those KPIs, we were able to use that to understand where the standing of the company is at present. So from the analysis that was carried out, we observed that we had the top three most expensive products to produce, and we had the top three products by profits. We had the total revenue by product category, we had the total revenue by country, and we had the total revenue by month. So, moving on. So, the key insights and findings now from the top three most expensive products to produce, we observed that product 1100 uh, had 48,000 to produce that particular product, and then we had 38,000 for product 1469, and then also 38,000 for product 1315. Now, moving by the side, now you observe that the profits uh, of those same products, of the top three products, are also the same of the most expensive to produce. But looking at it now, you observe that a particular product was more expensive to produce and had minimal profits in the margin. So when we go to the next slide, we check it out and see that the product 1100 used 48,000, and then the profit was just 0.33 million, which is $330,000. And then that of product 1469 had 38,000, which was a higher profit, while 1315 was 38,000 and had a profit of $680,000. So from this analysis, it could appear that product 1315 appears to be the most profitable, even though it's also among the top three in production cost. But when you check it, it's part of the most three profitable. And then product 1469 has moderate production cost and good profitability. But when you check that of product 1100, is the most expensive to produce, and yet it yields the lowest amount of profit. So what we do as data analysts now, is that we are like the pilots of the organization. We take the stakeholders, they know where they are going to, they tell us what they want to see. But as data analysts, we also look beyond that aspect to give them recommendations that, okay, you need to also concentrate and look at this other side just for better productivity. So now what we observed is there are possibilities that might have happened. It's possible that product 1100 had some glitches or some issues, maybe the parts to get the proximity to those areas are part of what will have probably caused it to be expensive to produce. And then ways to maximize profits was what I observed, and I brought out as a means to help was to prioritize production of product 1315. So despite its high cost, it brings in the highest profit in the company. So the good thing to do is to optimize its production, understand, and to lower costs slightly without sacrificing output. So what do you check there? You check things like, okay, can we exchange a particular product with this in order to get a cheaper cost? But if we observe that it's still going to affect our profit, we maintain it that way because it's still actually on a good profit level. Now we have the product 1469. It's actually balanced to cost profit ratio. Also, we can also do the same thing there to check if we can um, uh, use other products to how will I put it, to replace in order to get a better output. And then the last one, we have to reassess product 1100 now. It is the costliest product to produce. We use the highest amount to produce it, but yet it still has the lowest profit. So what do we do now? We consider replacing the production costs. We also try to increase the price if the market allows. Now, you know that we're in a market where we might have competitors and all those things. So we have to do a market survey to check to know if others are uh, other companies are selling below us or above us or the same price, so we can know how to do that in order to maximize profit. And we might actually phase it out if the margin remains thin. If we see that it's dragging us down and it's still continuing that way, we might decide to see if we can phase it out without affecting the company. So when we now check total revenue by product category, we can see that the total revenue was $252 million that was made. And then when you check the sensor aspect, the sensor approximately had virtually half of the profit of the revenue rather, and that's almost 50%. And then we had the microchip following next, and robotics was the last in the revenue. Now we checked through and observed and said, okay, what could be the problem? And then I observed that high demand could be part of the reasons why sensor did better. Now the reasons for that is that sensors might have a market demand as compared to higher market demand as compared to microchips or robotic components. And this could be driven by various industries. You know, we have more industries that are into the use of sensors than microchips and robotics. And as you know, sensors are things that just measure and measure substances or things like that, or events and things like that. But chips, on the other hand, actually uh, components now that do more of control and things like that. So we have more, let me say, a larger use for sensors than microchip. That's according to the observation. Yeah, and then the applicability of the sensors is higher compared to that of the rest. So I believe those are the reasons why sensors had a more larger percentage in revenue. Now, when we check the revenue by the month, we observe that there was a major spike around April, which had a very high amount. And then when we check it, what could likely be the reason why there was a higher spike around that time? Now, we can check that it's possible that most corporations usually finalize their annual budgets by quarter one, and you know, quarter one is the first 4 months, and begin major procurement in quarter two. So at that ending of that time, there's always a leap in government budgets and all those things. So there's a possibility that that was the time when most of these companies and government agencies made a lot of demand for some of these um, components, and that made the profits to rise. And then we can now check that May there was a very sharp decline, and why that could be is because immediately there's a high supply or high demand for some of these things. There are lots of it in the company, so there's a reduction in in the need for those components again. So there will definitely be a fall in the request for such components. So that's the reason why we observed that there was a sharp decline. And then when we now observe again, there's now a gradual increase as the year goes on, and that could be as a result of spring coming in and summer coming in. That's the time when most companies try to showcase their works and things like that. And according to the geographic location, we observe that most times during spring and during summer rather, that's when we have more activities, let me put it rather, happening rather than winter. And then when you now check the December January period, you also observe that there's still a little spike. What could have been the cause? Now we observe that definitely we have holiday seasons around that time, so a lot of people will want to enjoy with their families and things like that, and have family time, and that will need more uh, requests or things like that from the company. All right. So, in conclusion, the Tectronics Analysis Dashboard is an essential tool for understanding performance across different dimensions in the tech space, covering microchips, robotics, and sensors. It provides us with critical insight into sales metrics, the price trends, and regional performance by leveraging this dashboard so that the stakeholders can make data-driven decisions and then and spot some of these trends and then to optimize sales strategies. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tolulope. This is amazing work, to be honest. In 3 months, I don't think I could do something like this when I started learning. So I just want to say that this is like phenomenal work. From just 10 minutes, I can tell that some products have to go, some have to stay, some have to be better optimized, some have to, you know, just come out in a better way. And I like that your dashboard is clear, it's concise. It's not noisy, really. It's pretty straightforward, and I really like that. So I just have a couple of questions, really. So,
All right.
um, because I can see that there is like it's customer insights part of the dashboard, but this is like mostly sales, right?
Yeah.
You said the sensor, a lot of people were like ordering sensors more at a particular time, or was it like throughout the entire year that they were ordering more sensors than the rest of the products?
Okay. Yeah. The sensor part now. Um, when we check, yeah, the customers mostly ordered, or let me not say customers, well, clients rather, ordered more of sensors at some particular time because of creation of uh, some of these components. Let me put it that way. So, the robotics aspect and all this, some of those things can be stored. And I told you we have wide varieties of use for the sensors. So when some seasons come, we need more applications of some automated components, different things. So sensors are mostly in use around those times, are mostly required than the other products. So that was part of the observation as to why we believe sensors were robbed about half of the total revenue.
That's amazing. So during certain times in the year, so if I'm guessing what during certain times in the year, people need more sensors. So that's why there was this spike in increase.
Yes, yes.
So like certain times in the year. Oh, that's amazing. Well done. Like this is amazing work, and this is just 3 months. And if I'm calculating 3 months, that's just like 12 weeks. Just like that's so great. So amazing work, and thank you so much, Tolulope. Thank you so much for your time. Um, I just want to ask, yeah, so we have a question from Bamidele in the chat box. What tool did you use for this analysis?
Okay, I used Power BI, Power Business Intelligence, yeah, for this analysis.
All right, amazing. I think that question is answered. And just a quick summary of throughout this learning process, right? What would you say your experience is like? So, particularly because people learn at different rates, and this is something that is technical. I mean, tech is just technology. technical stuff, right? That's the short form of like that's what we say when we say in tech, right? So how was really your experience with learning, like learning something technical? And you come from a background that is really technical.
Okay, not really, not really. To be very, to be very honest, I've just been hearing about Power BI. I've just been hearing and checking and different things like that, and I always had this feeling that it was quite complicated, it was difficult, and things like that. But to be honest, when I started, in fact, the cohort we just spent about 3 weeks on this aspect of Power BI, and then the facilitators have been actually amazing. When we had issues, you can come to them privately, and then they help you, they put you through, and it's actually great because I never had any idea on Power BI. I just heard about it, but they take you step by step what to use, explains to you what are measures, what are dimensions, different things like that, and how to place them, how to use them, and things like that. And then they just let you think outside the box. All right, so things like that. Okay, you actually you've been told by the stakeholder to do this, but as a data analyst, you have to also think beyond, so your stakeholder can see your value and know that, oh, okay, we didn't think of this, but you brought this out, so just to bring out actionable insights.
So we have one more question, which will be the last question for Tolulope. What was your previous background before getting into data, really? Because now you see Power BI is like new to you, and I'm guessing this is your very first Power BI dashboard.
Well, this was my project I worked on, but to honestly, this was my first complete Power BI dashboard. Yeah, this is my first that I completed.
Amazing. So, your previous background, like where are you coming from before transitioning into tech? That was just the question.
Wow. Okay. Let me say I transitioned from customer support, customer
That's
support.
amazing.
Yeah,
So well
I was
done, and
actually.
okay. So good luck. I hope that answers your question. He's transitioning from customer support into tech, and this is basically 3 weeks of classes becoming this.
Yeah.
So amazing work. Thank you so much, Tolulope. And I hope, I mean, on to completion. By the time you complete this course, please start applying for jobs already. To be honest, you know what you're doing. Start applying, even if you're 40% prepared, start applying for jobs. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you here again from the angle of someone that has gotten a job. Amazing work.
Oh
Thank you
yeah,
so much
very,
for your
very
time.
yeah. I was even contacted. Sorry, I was even contacted by someone on LinkedIn. Yeah, just to add that a little. Yeah, we're told on how to optimize our LinkedIn and everything. So I think about a week ago, someone reached out.
Wow. Just from your first few projects. That's amazing. Thank you so, so much. Up next, hello, Tony. You can stop presenting your screen now. Thank you, Tolu.
Yeah,
Hello.
hi, Damola. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can't see you
Okay.
though. Welcome. Are you
Yeah, I'm
ready to
gonna turn on my
present
video.
now?
Absolutely.
All
Please
right.
confirm you can see me.
Yes, I can see you now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let me know if I can go for it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just sure.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Do let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, I can. You can just put it in slideshow so we can
Yeah,
see
I'll
it more.
surely do that. I'll surely
Thank
do that.
you. Yeah, you're good to go now.
Okay.
You have
All
10
right.
minutes.
Okay. All right. Let me know if it's on slideshow. Okay. I think it's on slideshow at my hand. Confirm it's on slideshow at your end.
Yes, 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 it is.
Okay, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone on the call, wherever you're joining from. My name is Anthony Wajay. I'm in the March cohort for Agile Project Management Scrum Master. Yeah, so this is my second project I'm working on. Quite a successful one, so I'm very delighted to share with everyone here. So the project is about a mobile first digital health platform. Yeah, so before I go into the introduction, I will just run us through the agenda for D-Day. So we'll talk about the introduction of this particular project. We'll talk about the budget distribution. We talk about the expected management plan, the change control process, and then the risk management plan. Then we go into conclusion. Yeah, so because of limited time, I think my preference would be to take questions, comments, clarification after the call. Yeah, so I can actually make good use of my 10 minutes. Okay, so as a way of introduction, Wells in Africa, which we actually worked with, a health tech non-profit, actually launched and deployed a community doc. So apparently what happened is it's very evident to everyone that the folks in the rural community are not privy, to good health facility and consultation. So we saw this as a very, very huge problem, and we just stepped in to be able to, bridge that divide, between the folks in the rural community and then them being able to get, consultations or prescriptions and even health education, which is what we did with this project. So um, we're able to get this out. The solution was the innovative solution we had there was to provide consultations, prescriptions, and health education online to the people in the rural area. And how we're able to do that, I would pretty much talk about. Then the plan or the scope for the project was for us to actually touch 10 communities in 3 Nigerian states. And at the back of that, once we are successful with this, and which we were, the plan is based on the success of this project was to now for us to scale up and then get this thing widespread beyond just this 10 community, and which we are happy to work on. So that is being worked on. For the scope, we're giving 5 months from the concept and then to the launch of this mobile app, which we actually delivered as well. Then of course it has to be on point when it comes to budget, because I mean for every stakeholder you expect, yeah, everyone to actually deliver on budget, and which everyone will agree with me. So for the problem statement, which is I touched on earlier, the rural community across Nigeria, they actually experience delays in assessing licensed health professionals, inconsistent health, the budget constraint, and then, yeah, donor pressure to actually deliver visible outcome quickly. Yeah, that's true. It's when you're in the urban city and metropolitan cities, you're privy to, very good medical facilities, very well-read, robust doctors and all of that. I mean, this is just more or less like an exclusive reserve of the people in those cities. But when you go down the rural area, they are not privy to all of this. So which is what we're helping with. So data collection, we were able to do that in 5 months. The budget for the stakeholders actually gave $80,000, which we worked with, and we're able to deliver the project within that um, amount. Then recognition, we had stakeholder demands during the course of the project, from start to execution to finish. We're able to accommodate all their acts within the time frame. And then we actually prepared mitigation in terms of risks. Every project out there has associated risks, and ours was not any way different. So we actually had robust mitigation plan for the risks, and that really helped us. So for the budget, I'll quickly do, I don't have so much time, so I'll quickly go high level summary for the budget. So like I earlier said, we had $80,000 to work with. And the way we did the split, we did 62.5%, 12.5%, and another 25%, across 3 phases. So we had phase one, which talks about the planning, development, and the infrastructure of the project. I think this more or less is, the main aspect of the project. So you talk about the user interface and user experience designs, and that was really key. So we had the prototypes, we selected the one we want to go with, and that was developed further. So we had the back end, the front end, development of the app. It was quite interesting. A lot of times stakeholder comes to us, and like, okay, I want to make these changes, I want to make this adjustment to what we've done so far. But the good thing is it's an agile project management, not a waterfall. So waterfall doesn't really accommodate flexibility. They don't take changes during the course of the project. So it's like a straight line, a linear. If for those of us that are maybe engineers or competent in maths, waterfall is like a linear line, from point A to point B, straight, no going about, you understand? But agile, brings about flexibility. So we're able to take changes to the app during the design phase. So stakeholder comes to us and tells us, okay, you know what, we want this app to be able to do this, maybe accept some sort of payment platform. And okay, you know what, we want it to accept the different currencies and stuff like that. So we're able to accommodate all of that during the course of the development of the phase, the hosting and all of that. After which we did a very robust quality assurance and testing of the app. That also has the amount that was marked for it. We went into pilot implementation, monitoring, and then training support. Of course, these are people in the rural area. You don't expect them to be up to speed with technology. So we had to, put some money aside to be able to bring them on board when it comes to training. And we had language issues. So we had to also, go down the nitty-gritty to be able to educate them locally in their own language. So something we had to bring in interpreters to help us interpret so that they can actually understand what we're about to do. Then, of course, we had the remote support as well. Then contingency, stakeholder requested for us to have about $20,000 as contingency plan for anything that could happen during the course of the project, which we did. So yeah, this still speaks to the budget as well, how it rolled out. We had 5 months to deliver this project. So month one, what we spent, month two, month three, and how it was allocated. Yeah. So for the expected management plan, we had our sponsors giving us 80K. So the table you can see on your right speaks to the top concerns of the stakeholders. And the stakeholders here, we have our donor, which is our sponsors. We have the field medics. We actually, because we're working with medical teams as well. And then we have the head board. So this different radar of stakeholders on this project actually have their own expectations and concerns during the course of the project, which we're able to accommodate and then we're able to deliver on. For the stakeholders, one of their major concern was scope creep. Yeah, it's an agile project, so we're able to accommodate changes, increase in the scope. So that was done. Delays in delivery, we actually ensured that within that 5 months, we are able to deliver on time. And that's premised on the fact that the planning for the project was quite robust. We had the kickoff meeting, we had all the stakeholders come in the room, everybody was up to speed. We have the project charter, we have the business case, and everybody saw, okay, these are the roles and responsibility, and these are the timeline, you understand? So we had our Gantt charts. We had so many tools we were able to work with during the course of executing the project, and that really helped us. So we have the field medics as well. They have a couple of concerns. I wouldn't want to run through all of them. We had the head boards as well. They had their concerns and they had expectations as well. Going further down the line, we still had the donor, the field medics, and the local health board also have expectations. So we try to rate their expectations in terms of the influence and the interest for those that will be high, from medium high, so that way we're able to, more or less, arrange those expectations in terms of priority and then know which one to actually prioritize on. The ones that are, okay, kind of medium, we just know how to handle them during the course of the project. And that really helped us. Then for change, like I mentioned, there were a couple of changes that was actually accommodated while we were developing the app and deploying the app. Yeah, so but those changes were not just changes we just took. We had to document them in what we call we had a document as the change control process form, which we actually developed for this project. And we documented any change that the stakeholders actually asked for. So there were some key ingredients in that form, which you can see on the slide there. We had the request, we have to identify, we have to log the request, evaluate, did the feasibility studies, we had to do a couple of reviews, like I mentioned earlier, and then we implement the approved. So all that was actually documented, and that really helped us. So at every point in time, we see who is requesting for a particular change, what is the person requesting for, how is it going to impact? And these stakeholders are giving us 5 months to deliver on this. There are some changes they actually requested that will more or less, make the projects, spill beyond that 5 months. So we are able to tell them and explain to them that this thing you're asking for, it's not like we can accommodate it, but it's going to spill. It will spill when it comes to the timeline. And for some, they were able to like, okay, you know what, let's jettison it for now. Maybe when we scale up, we're able to accommodate that, which was very good for us. So, but all that was documented. And then scope creep was another thing we're really concerned about. And how were we able to actually handle scope creep? We actually ensured that the project was pretty clear from start. The scope was clear to everybody, and then changes were documented. And then we're offering alternatives to our stakeholders for some things they were asking of. Okay, instead of this, why not we can actually do it this way? This will be easier. This will be faster. This will be more efficient. So all that was taken care of. Then the project actually came with its own risks, quite a number of them. I just give high level summary for the categorization of the rigs. We have the technical rigs, user adoption rigs. Remember, this is rural area, so the user adoption will be far less compared to if it's a metropolitan city. So yeah, that's the other rigs there. Mitigations we had in place. We did a lot of offline engagements, functionality tests. We trained the health community workers. We partner with local government to be able to deliver on this particular project because it's quite a big one, and we wanted the government to also, be a part of it and then embrace it as well. So we did all of that. Then the risks register. So risks register is just a documentation that shows your risks, shows the likelihood, the impact, the owner, and then the mitigation plan. So what I just want to highlight here is the fact that we were able to identify all the risks associated with this project, and we put the right mitigation in place, top-notch mitigation, and that actually helped us, achieve and deliver this project. So, in conclusion, the budget control, yes, we delivered the project according to the what the stakeholder wanted, and then they asked at least for us to have that 20K reserved, which we did at the end of the day. The apps was delivered cost effective, and it was able to reach out to our expected user, which are the people in the rural area. We've gotten feedbacks from them, and I mean, there's been enormous feedbacks, very, very good feedbacks that we've been getting from them. And we are happy to actually even scale up some more, considering what we've gotten from them. After the pilot, project was successful and then it went widespread. So the health situation in those rural areas, those 10 communities have improved drastically. And then we're able to even accommodate the apps being able to being used in several languages, for them, and it's something they've been able to work with. We're so happy. We're happy. Stakeholder is happy. End users are happy. And what more can you ask for for a project like this? Everybody goes home happy. So successful delivery within budget, within schedule, and that was just it. So now we've gotten more jobs from these jobs, and we were happy. We're very optimistic. We'll definitely deliver, and we ace this one as well, and we'll get more and more jobs to come. So that's it for the project. Thank you. And over to you, Onye Damola.
It's amazing, amazing work, Tony. Honestly, if I just read through your slides, I would know everything that happened. And that's kind of the point of this presentation, like everything to the teeny detail. That's amazing work. I'm going to
Thank
give
you.
the baton to Sophia now. I think Sophia, do you have any question?
Yeah, sure, I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, so one thing that really struck me while Anthony was presenting, I mean, I was glued to my screen while he was presenting. And this just shows us that as project managers, you carry your projects like babies. I saw how Anthony was so passionate talking about the community dog project. So as a project manager, you don't just work on it. It's practically your baby and you take it with so much passion. Okay, so there's one thing I actually noticed you said at the beginning of the presentation. You mentioned that since it's not the waterfall approach that you used, it's the agile approach, which allows for iteration. You can be very flexible. You can change your ways.
Yeah,
They can be
that's
something
right.
that come up and you can just tweak things around. So
Yeah.
when you're learning at analytics, are you learning a combination of the waterfall approach and a combination of the agile approach, or you're learning just one? Or how do you know, okay, I'm supposed to, go the agile way in this part, I'm supposed to go the waterfall way in this part. Do you understand? So do you have knowledge of both? Are
Yeah.
you being taught waterfall? Is it like an hybrid approach that you're being taught in the agile project management program?
Okay, yeah. So first and foremost, I think I would just say I would just use this medium to really appreciate, the analytics. To be honest, I'm impressed with what you guys are doing. So for our class, we started with the waterfall approach. then we moved to the agile approach, and now we're on the hybrid approach. So apparently it's like, learning to drive using the manual, and you transition to the automatic. So you just know it all. So it's been a good one. So we're able to know it all. We have the hybrid approach, so we know the waterfall, which is just like a linear, no iteration, no flexibility. It's just, move from here to here and deliver. You get it. And then we have the agile that takes into cognizance some sort of changes and flexibilities on the project. And then we have the hybrid, where you have some segment or some part of the project while delivering that should not change. This is fixed from this point to this point. Then from this point, you can accommodate changes. At some point, you don't accommodate. At some point, you accommodate. So that's it, and that's been really, really helpful. Yeah.
All right, great, great. That's good to know. I mean, so with the Agile Project Management Program in Analytics, it's literally a one-stop shop. You get to learn the waterfall approach, the Agile approach, and the hybrid approach. I love to call the hybrid approach the Agile approach. So it goes WAGILE. So waterfall stands as W, then we
Oh,
have
yeah. I get you there. I get you there.
So
Agile.
one more question before we let you
Okay.
go. I think the presentation was very much top notch, and we have to ask you
Thank
questions.
you.
So
Thank you.
you mentioned a lot about communication, speaking to the stakeholders, speaking to the people of the rural community. So are you just being taught the technical part of it? Are you just being taught, okay, this is how you do your budget, this is how you go about your costing? Are you just being taught the technical part? Do they go deep into teaching you the communication skills, or you're just left on your own and you just think of, okay, this is how I communicate with my stakeholders, this is how I communicate with the rural the people in the rural area? Because I mean, the way you communicate with the stakeholders is quite different from the way you'd communicate to the people that you're just presenting something to. Do you understand? So is
Yeah.
that left to you to decide on, or your facilitator actually takes you through that communication learning?
Yeah, so thanks for that question, Sophia. Yeah, so we're not just taught only the technical part. Yeah, we were taught communication skills, how to communicate with people, and our facilitator Josephine, I think she's the best teacher out there. I mean, not because I'm here. I know I'm saying that. I've been taught by so many people in life, but she's different. And there's something she always say. Um, if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you don't understand it well enough. So each time, whatever I'm doing, that thing just comes to mind. Like the way I'm explaining this thing to this person, if the person is a 5-year-old, can you understand what I'm saying? So I try to break it down to the barest minimum, and that's one thing she's been able to teach me personally. Yeah, so we've been taught all of that as well, and then during the course of the project, we have the communication plan. I didn't touch on that because I had just 10 minutes. So we had a communication plan and how to communicate between both divides. There are complete divides. You're talking to stakeholders that are very up there, and you're talking to the people in the rural area that, some have never been to the four walls of any school in life. So you just have to be able to bridge that divide. And we are, more or less like the central nervous system. So you're coordinating amongst the two divides. So yeah, that's really helped me as well. Yeah.
All right, great, great, great. That's very good to know. I mean, it was evident in your explanation. I could tell. Very good communication skills. Well done, Anthony. Great job. So yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be all from me. Oida, do you have more questions before we move on to the next person? Thank you, Anthony.
Yes, I
Thank you.
do. I have a couple of questions, and this is from the people that have been listening to you. Okay, so we're going to
Okay.
do this rapid fire style, right? So just quickly so that we can get we're on a time crunch really, or any time crunch really. So Fitz asked that the project looked like it was on a happy path, right? Did you ever experience any challenges like while working on the project? People can be difficult, like sorry to say, it's a rural community. Many people might be like, what are people even saying? People are coming to English. So did you really experience any challenge and how did that go?
Yeah, so we had a couple of challenges. First of all, is creating that in the mind alone first, because every project is actually conceptual. So conceptualizing it was first a challenge, And when we're able to get past that phase, then bringing it to life, that's another challenge we had. Then the fact that it's a project that has to do with people in the rural area, that's a whole kettle of fish as well. So it was really, really difficult. But because we had a very robust plan, and we had very robust plan, which we actually put in place during the planning and the initialization of the project, so we were able to just implement it. And then we had we worked with diverse teams, and even the people in the rural area, the people that could hear a little English, they really helped us, and we were able to communicate with the people in the rural area. So quite a number of challenges. And then the stakeholders, the changes they were asking for, there were a lot, like I said during my presentation. So there were a lot we couldn't take on board. We had to tell them, okay, no, let's push this further because it's going to affect budget, it's going to affect scope, it's going to affect time. So they were able to push it further. So those were also other challenges we were able to deal with. So yeah, we're able to surmount them all. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing work. So Brown is asking, did you just stay with just diagnosis? And if you did not, how did you handle like things like prescription, delivery of drugs, administration, seeing as you were coming from like bringing just medical facilities into the rural? Were you just diagnosing on this project, or you went into like giving out the drugs or like prescriptions really?
Yeah, so we diagnosed, we did prescription, but we didn't give them the drugs. No, a lot of times people die from ignorance. People don't know what is actually wrong with them. Sometimes I've heard it even in rural area, in urban areas. Some people will like, okay, I feel I'm having malaria, whereas it's fever. You understand? So you need to talk to people, train people to be able to tell you, okay, this is what it is, this is what it is. So that's what we've done. We'll be able to tell them, okay, exactly what is actually wrong with them. They have those diagnoses and all of that. But for the next phase, which is another project we actually have in mind, will be maybe to set up, like proper healthcare or like a facility for them, which will be the next phase. But for this project, it wasn't about that. So it was more about bridging that divide in terms of education, let them know, let them have, that's direct lifeline to talk to medical doctors and medical practitioners. Yeah, that was what the project was about. Maybe the next one, yeah, we would touch on something like that. I hope to get that kind of project too. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you're telling me this like this is a project or from like simulations in class, really. Okay, right? This is a project from simulations.
Yeah, it's a project from simulation in
Wow.
class, and
I'm
to me
so
it's life.
passionate about
It's
it.
I've given birth to it already, so it's real to me. I can touch the project, I can touch it.
That is so amazing. Okay, so
Yeah.
last question that we have here is could you give us insights on just things that you use, the tools you use for the implementation of this project from initiation to completion, just tools that you use during this. I mean, aside PowerPoint really, because I mean PowerPoint captures the summary, but just things that you use during
Okay,
the
so work with Jira, work with Trello. We did the Gantt chart. We also used Microsoft Project as well, Conference as well. Yeah, so we used all of that. PowerPoint is just to present it. When we have presentations, we just use PowerPoint, and PowerPoint is not really PowerPoint, maybe Canva or something. I mean, they are very high tech presentation apps or tools out there. So PowerPoint's outdated. Yeah, I mean we are bigger than that. We've gone past that, so to speak. Yeah. So that those are the tools I actually work with during the course of the project. Yeah. Thank you.
that is really, really amazing. And I like the passion in the project and it's just a simulation. So definitely if you have asked to handle like a real life project, you already know what to do and everything is on
Yeah.
lock. Amazing, amazing, amazing work. Okay, thank you so much, Tony.
All right.
This has been
You're welcome.
amazing. And just to think that this is like under 3 months of being at analytics.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing work. So this
All
is
right. Yeah.
just for
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you. So this is just for everyone. Please know that there is an attendance form that it's been passed around, right? And the form is not just for you to say, "Oh, I was at this session." Is also to get materials, ask your questions, and to be able to be contacted if you have further questions. So please do well to fill this form. My colleague is sending it back to back in the group chat. So do well to ask your fill the form. Really would just help you with anything you need. So moving on, we have Antonia. Hi, Antonia. Are you here with us? Hello, Antonia.
Sorry, I'm right here. Sorry about that. Good evening, everybody.
All right, amazing. So Antonia is from the data engineering program. So Antonia, the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can hear me all right.
Yes, I can hear you,
Oh,
but I can't see you, neither can I see your screen.
Oh, okay. So I will share my screen now.
All right.
Can you see now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, so I'm currently at the cohort 3 of the data engineering class within analytics. We started in February, and so far so good. We've been doing lots of projects on data warehousing, using mostly Python, pandas, and it's just been a very interesting journey so far. And we've, like I said earlier, we've done a lot of projects, and I just decided to just pick just a single one. I'm just gonna put it on the slide. Sure. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see that now.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes,
So just imagine you work in a company and say your boss wants to get a residential apartment for probably a new CEO of the company, and he's like, okay, you as my data engineer, I need you to get me the best deal on the internet from any real estate agents. So as a data engineer, what you will do first is to get, okay, where am I going to get this data from? And where am I going to get this data from? And how do I extract this data? How do I put it in a structured format? And how do I put it down into like how do I import it into a reporting tool like Power BI and the likes, like my previous colleagues just mentioned. So so the first thing to do is, like I said, to get your data source, and here I will be using the API from a real estate. Rapid API is like an hosting service that gives you different. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so to Rapid API, so to get the data, once we get the data, the next data as a data engineer is to get your data, transform your data, clean the data, and then transform it into it, and normalize the data, then transform it into a star schema. That's where you have your facts table and your dimensions table. So so the first thing first, like I said, is to get your API, then to normalize and clean your data to a tabular structure. Then next thing is to go to your database and then create like a schema. If there is no schema already, if there's no schema for that particular data, you need to create a schema for that data. Then create your tables in the data, and then first referential integrating. That is all about you assigning the primary key to the dimensions table and the foreign key to the facts table, so like join them together. And also after that, once you're done with the step 3, you move on to loading your data into the database. Then next thing is for you to start querying the database to give your boss whatever he or she wants. So the next thing is like I said, that's just like a summary. So the tools I used for this particular project was .env. That is like an environmental variable where you use to secure your API keys and your database username and passwords and every other thing. Then Python and pandas for data processing. Like I said, a rapid API for your API source. And then your SQL Alchemy, that is just like an SQL type that you use to query your database from your Python interface. Then next thing is to do your extract, transform, and load. That's like the ETL pipeline. So just to like bring it up, I will just move to just give you a brief snippet of the script of how it's all worked out. Spare me a second. Okay. So So the first thing is to load your libraries. When it comes to data engineering, your major source is how do you write your script? How do you put your source? So you need to first import your libraries that you're going to be using. And these are libraries I'll be using. Like when I mentioned of .env the other time, this is the .env, which gives you access to your environmental variables. And then every other libraries that we need. And the good thing about Rapid API is you don't have to start stressing yourself out on how to write scripts to actually pull the records. They have their scripts. So all you need to do is just go to the website, get the HTTP request on their website. Then all you need to do is to add your query string, like your search parameters. What do you actually need? What is your boss requesting? Is it requesting for a 1 bed? Is it requesting for a 2 bed? Then you put your request here, and then you pull the record. And when you pull the record, it comes like a JSON file. And for JSON file, you actually need to flatten it before you can actually make use of it in a tabular format. So this particular line of script is just a way of me extracting multiple pages from the website. And by the time I run that, I could just do a brief explanation, so I have my virtual environment, so I'm just gonna start. So that all sorted. Now, if I run this, it might take a while, but I have a CSV file. I could stop it. So once I'm done running the file, the next thing I do is to normalize the JSON file, which I explained earlier, to make it easier to understand and to interpret. Once you're done with that, then you have the file loaded to a CSV. This is the line that I use in saving the CSV. Now, once you have your data, your raw data from the website, the next thing you need to do is the transformation layer. That is where you clean your data and you transform your data into like the fact and the dimensions table I was talking about earlier. So when it comes to like cleaning, what you need to check for cleaning, you need to check for the nulls, check for any missing, the nulls, check for the data types, then check if there is inconsistency in the columns and the likes, and just something much more like that. Then I'm just going to stop this and upload, or maybe let's let it run. So this is the excuse me. This is the information about the data, the raw data that I just scraped from the website. And from where we can see, we have like 1,500 records. And from here, we can see that there is no null figure. So our data is a bit clean, but we actually need to do further inspection to understand that, okay, this data is actually of good quality. We can proceed with the transformation process or with any other steps. So, so next thing, and for every cleaning I'm doing, or the way I do it, every time I want to start cleaning, I always try to make a copy of the raw data, just in case I run into an unforeseen situation in the future. I could always go back to my data without having to pull the request again. Like, so once that is done, I do a copy, then I check. The first thing first, I always make sure my columns are of the snake case. That's the standard in data analysis, in data analysis and data engineering. You make it a snake case format. That's where you have it all in lower columns and then with no space, no white space in between. So that is what the line does. And once that is done, the next thing is to remove any unwanted columns. Like if you, by inspecting the data structure, you can see that the price, this particular column, just give me a second. Yeah, the pricing qualifier label and the pricing qualifier, they're almost the same thing. So there is no need for redundancy. Like I said, during transformation, we are trying to normalize the data to avoid any redundant data to remove any redundancy in our data. So I have to remove this pricing qualifier label. Likewise, the pricing label too, I have to remove that because it also duplicates one of the columns in the database in the raw data. And just going through the step, next thing I did was to fill any unknown values. Clean the columns, get your data, change this particular line is for it's for changing the data type to the actual correct type. Like if you look at that, you see that the price value is showing as, the short price title is showing as object. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be a price. It's supposed to be like a float, a float data type. So I needed to change that to the correct data type. That is what this has done. So I think that has finished running. Okay, still running. Okay. The next thing is to, now, when I'm talking about normalization, we have this the first level normalization, the second level normalization, and the third level normalization. So the process of the reason why we normalize is, again, to avoid redundancy in our tables or in our data. And to do that, if you look at the data structure, there is no column for city, state. You only have one address, which combines the postcode, the city, and the main line of address. So to avoid repeating our addresses and have to break that down to like 3 different columns. That is what this function is all about. Excuse me, this is what this function is all about. So it breaks my address into 3 different parts: the address line, the city, and the postcode. This is where I use my regular expression library to split the address into like 3 or 4 parts, and instead of counting from the end starts at the postcode, the next one starts at the city, then the other line starts as the address line. After doing that, then the next thing I did was, also when I look at the table, I notice that some of the columns are actually like list of a dictionary list. And from where I'm coming from, it's always difficult to, not really difficult to import or to load a list of dictionary into a column in a database. But to me, I feel it's not like a standard practice. So we need to actually simplify that particular column. So that is what I did here to break down, to convert the list of dictionaries into a string, like into a string. So for the tags, let me just show you the previous one so you understand what I'm trying to explain. So if you look at the tags, you can see it's like a dictionary list. So after passing the raw data through this function, I have the new tag as strings. So this now is safe and it's of a high quality to actually import into the database. And once that is sorted, and we know that our clean is of good quality and totally clean, next thing is to start building our dimensions table. And when you're building dimensions table, the aim of that is also to reduce the redundancy, like I said. So we need to actually drop duplicates when we are creating the dimensions table. So that is what this line is all about. And to reset the index, because we are dropping some rows, so you need to reset the index to make sure the data is up to date and standardized. And when that is created, the next thing you do is to assign an ID. Like for every table, there should be an ID which serves as a primary key for that particular table. So that is what I did for the agents table. The locations column, now I have to use the postcode, the city, and the address that I created earlier to generate the locations dim table, then also the attributes table, and also the pricing table. And last thing is to build your facts. You always build your facts from your dimensions table. And that is when you merge the different dimensions table together and you pick only the ID. This is just to make it easier for the data analyst who wants to query the database for a particular query that the bosses might need. So that is what I did for the facts table. And once that has been created, the next thing for me is to create my database. We already have our model, like the fact table is going to connect all the other 4 dimensions table. And next thing is to check your database. If you have a database already, that is good. All you need to do is just to create this schema in a database and create your tables, and upload your cleaned or your normalized tables. So this whole script is just showing us how we check your database if there is if the schema already exists in the database or not. So I tried to avoid creating multiple databases, so I have just one single database. So I use the public database, which is the Postgres database, and inside there I have to create a schema, but I don't need to create it manually. This particular script will check that for me if the schema exists or not. If it exists, if it doesn't exist, it creates. If it exists, it just moves on. And once that is done, the next thing I need to do is to create my tables. And to create my tables, we can go through different ways. We can either use direct SQL scripts, run it in your Postgres interface, that is this one, or you can do it from there, create it also as a script and run it in your Python file. Or other way is to go through the ORM, which is the object relational mapping. This is just like a Python way a simpler way of writing SQL script. So this creates tables creates a class for each of the tables. And during the creation, I needed to ensure that as I'm defining my table columns, it aligns with what I have here as my data structure here. So I needed to create a table. Once the table has been created and referential integrity enforced, next I needed to see what to check if my if the data was correctly created in my Postgres database, and to be sure that the ERD diagram is actually what I need, like the reference that the links are there. So after creating that, this is what I found out for my model. Like that's my ERD diagram for that particular star schema. And you can see I have my fact sales joining the 4 different dimensions table. Once that is sorted, and I'm sure it's all good, next thing to do is just go ahead and load my data into the database. And to load my data, I use the SQL Academy, which is a SQL function. So when I'm using this particular, because I already created my table with the primary keys and the foreign keys, when I'm using the SQL to SQL script, I need to use append. Append will ensure that the referential integrity that I have set previously remains the same, it's not broken. But if I am creating, or if I just created a table without any referential integrity, then I'm going to use, excuse me, I'm going to use if x is equals, sorry, I can't just escape my mind now. So I'm just going to leave that for now. So it's just going to be append. So once I run this, it will tell me if my data load has been imputed directly into the database or not. And next thing is just for me to query whatever request I get from my boss. And that is just that's just a quick summary of the whole process. Just before I close, I'm just going to double check if that actually ran completely. Then, okay. So it said DF, that is it. So it's completely run. So if I just check my DF now, so I can see that is the data, that's the raw data from the website that I just scraped from. And that is just the basic, or the, how would I put it? It's just a summary of all the projects. And I don't know if it actually made any sense just now, but it's just a bit, I don't know. I think that's all from me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Antonia. This is amazing work. So let me reiterate what you just did with so many codes and so many fancy things, right? Is we're looking for house and we're trying to find the most affordable or whatever we're looking for. And you're literally just, this is the internet, which is, I don't know how large the internet is. And the internet that keeps reproducing data, really, we keep producing data every millisecond. And you're just going to the internet and extracting the needed information to find a house through all these processes. There's so many processes. And this is, I don't know how to explain this, but yes, data engineering is very technical. And in simple terms, what we've just done is we've gone to the internet to gather everything that we need on looking for house, on how to get the best deal to get a house. All these so many things is just, this is amazing, right? So like so plenty things, like, and the data came out organized in tables. You can tell, okay, where did they I think from what I can see like colons on, okay, this particular data that we're extracting, this is where we're getting it from, where is this address, what does the picture look like, from different websites on the entire internet. This is amazing work. Well done, Antonia. Okay, so personally, as I said, I have plenty of questions, right? But from what I can see, right, because it's even to the extent of extracting like pictures, because it's just going to be like when you're processing the data, like what Tolokwe did in Power BI and so many other things, you're going to be able to see more information. But all the data we're using to inform our AI, all the data that we're using. So if you're supposed to build the AI now on job or house hunting, this is going to be like this is going to be where we are going to begin from. So this is amazing work. Someone that for me that I'm always like with data engineers. I'm not a data engineer, but I'm always with data engineers, and I'm just like all these. Okay, I want to do machine learning. I want to do this, and the base, like the foundation of everything we are doing is just even from getting the data and using it. So this is amazing work. I don't think I have any questions, to be honest. I don't have any questions. And Fit has a question, which is, what database were you using? What
Yeah,
database?
I use a PostgreSQL.
Yeah, so we're using
pgadmin.
yes, she's using pgadmin, that's the SQL database she's using. And what amount of data were you working with? Can you quantify it in gigabytes or something?
Okay, so for this particular project, because I felt it was for a presentation, I didn't scrape bits of large of data. So this is just like, just let me check the size of the CSV file. Like it's just like 1,500 rows. I didn't extract I think I extracted like 30 pages on the website. So it's not that large. So I can't really say it's a big data. It's just normal data, just 1,500 rows. So it's not that big.
Okay. All right. Final question. Was this working with data warehousing concepts as well? This project?
Yes. That's that was the objective, to build a data warehouse database where you can actually connect it to your reporting tools, be it Power BI, be it Tableau, be it Looker, anything. So you can use it to connect to it, and from there do any analysis that you want to do.
Okay, so you're running Python directly from VS Code. I know you use for SQL, use iSQL at Alchemy. For Python, what extension did you use?
For Python, what extension did I use? I didn't get that question, please.
Okay, to run, I think Python can run directly on VS Code, right? You can run
Yeah,
the
it
Python
does. Yes, it's built on Python. You can run Python
Okay,
directly
all
on
right.
VS Code.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Antonia. This is amazing work. This is phenomenal work. I mean, you started in February and you're already building data warehouses. Please start applying for jobs. That's just what I'm saying. Please start applying for jobs. Please don't forget the attendance form that is in the chat box. Our colleague has been putting it out there. Thank you so much, Antonia. I think
All
right
right.
now I'm going to have to hand the button over to Prince. Hello, Prince.
Hi. Hello, Oyindamola.
All right. Okay,
Right.
so back handed over to you. We're done with our presentations, and well done, Antonia. Well done, Tolulokwe, and well done, Tony. Okay, Prince. Yeah.
Okay, so fantastic job, well done to everybody that presented. That is sincerely, that is a very amazing presentation. And trust me, a lot of people, most especially this ending part, a lot of people went silent in the comment section, like they don't even know what is going on. And it is very understandable. Trust me. If it were you, I will like feel the same thing. And what you're looking at, these particular things that they've worked upon, it is something that they've been able to learn in just 3 months after starting the program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how this is possible and how you can see yourself from having no technical background at all to becoming somebody that is that much of a professional and I have experience to be able to work on projects like this. Okay, when you please do confirm when you can see my screen. All right.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh, fantastic. So many people will be looking like, oh, so why is projects? So everybody working on projects. Why should they work on projects? And the reason is because, so when you're looking to transition to the tech space, project is what is going to actually showcase your skills. Now, you see everybody that I've presented, you'll be able to pinpoint one or two, like, oh, so this person knows how to use this tool. This person knows how to use this tool. And this person can use this tool to solve the problem that we're having. This is the essence of a project. And if you're looking at, okay, so projects, what is it that we're going to get at the end of everything that we're talking about? I'm going to be able to guarantee you that by the time we are done with this particular session, first off, you'll be able to have a better understanding of what we just did. You'll be able to have a clearer understanding of which career path you should be going for. And you also be able to position yourself to land a high paying role. This is something I'll be able to guarantee you 100%. Right? And when we're looking at the high paying role, what exactly are we looking at? So before we arrive at the programs that we see some people talk about, the data, the business analyst, the HR projects management, and even the data engineering. Before we arrive at teaching all this program, what we went ahead to do is went to job boards to scrape all the information, just the same way you've been able to see Antonia scrape information. We went to job boards and we scrape all the jobs that is being posted. And what we are trying to identify is what are the jobs that are really high in demand that company are really looking to hire for. And after that, we analyze this information based on 3 major criteria. And the first criteria is the ease of learning, meaning what about people that don't have any technical exposure, any technical experience, or they've been away from classroom kind of setup for a very long time? Or what about people that haven't worked 2 jobs? What about those that are working and are studying at the same time, probably doing their master's or their PhD? How are they able to add this to whatever they are doing, to the already busy schedule, learn it to the extent of being able to understand it enough to work with it or to get a job with it? That is the first criteria. The second criteria is the ease of transitioning. What about people that have never done anything, that does not have any practical knowledge in the tech space? Are they able to also land the job or transition into this role? That's the second criteria. And the third one, which I believe is one of the trigger, one of the reason, I'll speak for myself, one of the reason why we see many people transition into tech is definitely the high rewarding salary, the reward for the effort you put into everything you're doing. And after this analysis, we're able to arrive at these 8 different programs that you can see on my screen: business analyst, the HR project management, the data gods, the cybersecurity analyst, the financial, and the HR analyst. Now, see, these are the things that you're able to have that guarantee that if you take any of this program, you're going to meet these 3 major criteria. But we didn't stop there. So what we went ahead to do is we went ahead to seek external validation from the World Economic Forum. And from that report, it shows that between now and 2030, that's 5 years from now, 170 million jobs, new jobs will be created. And when that 170 million jobs are being created, over 92 million jobs will disappear, will stop to exist. That is a shocking news because many people will not even know if their career path is something that you really want to dive into, if your career path is going to die out or disappear 5 years from now. And what we went ahead to further do is we went ahead to actually look at the report that they gave. This particular report is available to you. So you can see here where it says download report. So my colleague that are dropping the attendance form in the chat box, make sure you complete that form. So you'll be able to get this slide and also the recording of everything that has happened. You'll be able to get that in your email, right? So if you can see my screen, you see the career path that you can see on the right side of the screen. These are career paths that are gradually going to die out. You might have demands for them right now, but according to the World Economic Forum, come 2030, there's going to be little to no demand for this career path. Now, if you're looking at the career path that is on the left side of the screen, you say sharp, if you see like the normal chart, you see that some of them are going like increase in numbers. These are career paths that are steadily having that sharp increase in companies looking to hire for these roles, these professionals. And if you look at the analysis that we did, this one that has the 8 career paths, you have the data engineering, the data analyst, and the data scientist. If you look at the first point, you will see big data specialist. That is who Antonia is. And our career path is currently the most high, it has the highest in demand according to the World Economic Forum. So is every other role. You have the data analyst and the data scientist, which is something that you will also be able to transition into. You have the cybersecurity analyst, you have the business analyst also. Then you also have the data analyst, the data engineers, the HR project manager, even the business analyst again. So if you're looking to transitioning through strategic means and information is something you should really be looking at and taking advantage of. And if you're looking at all these 8 career paths, what are the roles that are open to you and which of them can you really transition into? We have loads of them. We have a lot of them. And during the course of the program, I'll definitely break this down a little bit more to you. So you have the data analyst, the roles they can apply to. the data scientists and the roles, even much more they can apply to away from these ones that are here. They have the data engineering, which you can see Antonia walk you through. You see, by the time you're able to do a little bit of what she's able to do, you easily be able to become somebody like an ETL developer because that's part of what she did. You also be able to see yourself becoming a BI engineer, that's business intelligence engineer, and a developer. All right, that's something that you'll be able to learn and pick up. Even though while she was presenting, I know a lot of people were quiet and they didn't really get to ask questions. I could understand because it is one of the technical things that you could see her doing, and she's doing it seamlessly. And if you're looking at, oh, this might sound like, oh, so this seems so difficult, it's impossible. I can guarantee you, and I can bet you that we have loads of students that have been able to go through the program that have no prior experience or exposure into this space, and they've been able to land a job. And all the people you see that did the analysis today, the first person that did the business analysis dashboard in Power BI, he told you it was a customer support, a customer success representative. That's what he was. But now, within 3 months, and as a matter of fact, 3 months, yes, but that Power BI that he learned and he showed you, that's something that he was able to learn and do in 3 weeks. Not 3 months, in 3 weeks, but he just started Power BI in 3 weeks. So you can understand that you are able to take those transferable skills right from when you are in the class and be able to transfer them into getting yourself a job, which is something thousands of students have been able to do. And definitely by the time you get this slide, you'll be able to click on these particular references and be able to watch them speak on how they've been able to get a job. Some of them were still even in training. Okay. And how do you go about doing that? What are the career paths? Okay. What are the career skills that's looking to land a job? So I've spoken about 8 different career paths. I'll be in the chat box. I want to see what career path are you looking to transition into? Okay. I want to see what you have. So drop the comments in the box. We'll have the business analyst, we'll have the agile project management, where you have Tony walking you through how they manage a project, or which of us is looking to become a data engineer. I'll be looking out in the chat box. I want to drop what you're looking to learn. So what somebody dropped in a question in the chat box. So what you want to also do is whatever question that you have, drop them in the chat box, and I will definitely get to them when it's time for us to ask questions. I'll be able to get to them and answer those questions. Fantastic. I could see a lot of data gods, data scientists. Bamdele said data scientists. Shido said data analytics. Olawumi said data analysis. Arnold said data analysis. I'm seeing a lot of data scientists. We only have the data gods in the house. What's happening to business analysis? Correct. Abiola said business analysis. Clara said business analysis. Fantastic. So these are the career paths that you can easily find yourself transitioning to. And when you're looking at transitioning, what exactly are we talking about? What are the skills that you need to facilitate you being able to transition? And the first one I'll be talking about is the business analysis. So even though you don't need any sort of prior experience or background to be able to see yourself transitioning into this space, some of the things you need is one of the very key important things you need to be a fantastic business analyst is ability to communicate. Communication is something that you would do a whole lot as a business analyst because as a business analyst, you are the process master. Every business have their processes. For example, a retail organization, its process is to be able to have customer reach out to them, and when they buy something, whatever they must have purchased, being able to deliver that product to the end user, to the consumer. That is the process. The delivery is a process. So making that delivery process seamless is what you see business analysts get to do. Every business have their own. A health center will probably have patient booking system. How long does it take before a new patient is being booked into the organization's directory? How long does it take? We all have our banks. When we want to transact with our bank, how long does it take to transact from money being sent to money delivered? How long does these things take? This is where you see a business analyst exhibit their super strength and showing you how exactly you can make all this process as seamless as possible. And to be able to be this person, these are the things you get to learn on your screen. You learn different programs, different key learning areas using different tools. If you could hear when person that talked about business analysis was talking, they said he used Trello, he used Microsoft Project, he used Jira, then he used a little bit of did also Power BI. So these are the things that you will learn, and as you are learning, as you can see already, you are learning working on different projects. And you, by the time you are done learning, you have internship. You have 6 months in class training where you have to work on projects, and you have 2 months internship where you get to work on projects without supervision, because by 6 months, you are in a fantastic spot. And by 2 months into the program, you can imagine that 6 months. So everybody that is here today and everything they're able to do, this is just them being halfway into their learning program. They're not even done yet, and they've been able to do all these things that you can see. Then once you are done with that in 6 months, you have a 2-month internship where you get to work on projects, real-world projects, solving real-world cases. And the opportunity that you get from all this is you'll be able to have all these projects added into your classroom, into your portfolio. These are the advantages of working on projects, to be able to showcase the skills that you have, and opportunity for anybody looking to hire you to reach out and get you hired. Now, looking at the classes, you have the live classes. It happens on Saturday, every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, UK time, or even European time. Then for those that are not based in these time zones, you also have another class that is going to happen in the evening in West African time, UK time. But for those in North America, that is going to be 10 a.m. MST, those in Canada and in the US, right? And also on Sunday, you get what we call a self-paced watch me do it video. Video you get to watch for during the week, which will further intensify everything that you've learned from your live class, right? And when you're looking at your live class, you have a blended form of training. You have the live class and you have the self-paced. So the blended of both of them will give you everything that you really need. And in situations where you have questions, you can hear when some of the students are talking that you have your instructors readily there, waiting to help you solve whatever challenge that you have. So looking at the other program, you have, like I said, for the business analysis, the only thing you need in this space is ability to communicate. So if you've been a customer support, if you work in sales, if you work in marketing, all these are all transferable skills. You'll be exceptionally perfect for the business analysis program. And the lesson we'll be looking at is the Agile Project Manager Scrum Master. Like I said, just know that everything that I'm showing you, you don't need any technical background. The only thing you need is some personal traits. For example, for the Agile Project Manager, the thing you need in this space is people's management skills. People's management skills, because you get to work with a lot of people, you get to manage a lot of people, you get to communicate with people. For example, when Anthony was talking about managing team, working with people in the rural area, these are things that if you are not the type that enjoy things like that, if you are more of the person that loves to work around technical things, or you are the one that you don't love communicating with people, you love to get your things done at the background, this might be difficult. But if managing and speaking with people is something you are comfortable with, then the Agile Project Manager is something you'll be able to see yourself transitioning into, and you'll be fantastic in this space. And we're looking at the things you get to learn. Everything is very beginners friendly. They take you like you don't have any prior experience. So even for those that have experience, you will still going to start from having no experience, and from you build you up. By the time you're done with your program, you'll be in a fantastic spot. So all the programs, they have the same learning timeline, 8 months. You have 6 months in class training and 2 months internship, and the class all on Saturdays and the same time period also. Now, the next I'll be talking about is the data engineer, something that we all just witnessed. And to be this professional, even though you don't need any technical background, you see what Antonia was able to do. If you are this person that you've never done anything technical before, you've never written a line of code before, you've never even done anything coding or SQL or anything like that before, you are still able to transition into data engineering. The only thing that is going to require from you is your dedicated time to learn and practice. Because you remember, what Antonia just did was working on projects. So when you work on projects the same way the Antonia has been able to work on it, you might not get it the first time. You might have challenges. If you have challenges, you always have instructor there ready to answer those questions. Then when they answer it for you, you go back, you practice. So these are the things that you need to be able to see yourself transitioning and becoming as tech savvy as Antonia. You see the way she was very confident about the project she's worked on, and she was able to walk you through it to show you exactly the effect of our scraping. That is something that you'll be able to do fantastically well, even if you don't have experience at all as a data engineer. And to be able to see what, if you could see the first key learning area, yeah, I will agree with you, Emma. She made it look so easy, and that is because the training is even way much more easier because she was working on projects. You will never come into class and you have anybody telling you to go and read any material. No, you're coming into class to solve real-world projects, to solve real-world problems. And by the time you're done solving them, you're solving them working on projects, working using a tool. So this will give you the ability to understand everything you've done. And if you have challenges, you have people that are teaching you that are right there in your WhatsApp, readily waiting for you to ask them questions and they solve this problem for you. And if you could see the first number one on your key learning area, it says Introduction to Data Engineering. So that will tell you that Introduction to Data Engineering assumes that you don't even know anything about data engineering. So it's going to introduce you to you, build you up, and make you this fantastic professional that will go about scraping the web, making it readily available to use for anybody that is interested in using it. For example, the information that she's been able to analyze and store in the database, a data analyst would easily go into that database, into the SQL database, extract this information, and be able to analyze it to tell you, oh, so this is what we might be looking at. This is not efficient. This is efficient. This is a challenge that we're facing. Just the same way that you'll be able to see the Power BI reports where you have products, the ones that is expensive to produce, thereby even still giving very low profit margin. So you're spending so much money to produce a particular product and it's still giving you reduced profit. Why? Why should I want to continue with that if I want to continue to be in business? These are some of the problems that we see a data analyst solve for organizations, for companies. And these are professionals that you see company looking for every day, right? And as a data analyst, these are things you get to do seamlessly. These are things you get to learn. And to be a data analyst, one thing that you need is becoming or being a problem solver. And I think that is something that the adulthood generally has given to us on a part of growth, being a problem solver. So whatever challenge that you face, you are always there to solve it. And if you look at the first key thing you'll be learning as a data analyst is problem solving. So you'll be able to learn the technical approach of asking questions and solving problems. This is something you'll be able to learn 100% in the program. And remember, everything you're learning, they are all project-based. There is no theory in analytics. We don't do theory. Work on projects, show you real-world problems, and they take your skills to solve these real-world problems and show it to people that need it to facilitate the opportunity of you getting a job. I believe if you listen to when I've forgotten his name, the person that worked on Power BI, he was able to tell you that part of the thing that he won't have opportunity of is he was able to have somebody reach out to him via LinkedIn, which I'm still going to touch on. So no fears. Then the other one that we're looking at is the data scientist. A data scientist is more or less like a bigger brother to data analyst. And in this space, what a data scientist get to do is, so you see a data analyst work around what we call the diagnostics and the descriptive analysis. And in simple English, that is what happened and why did it happen. All right. For example, they're looking at identifying products that are doing very well. Is one that is costing them a lot of money and is giving low revenue. They're looking to increase their profit margin, but yet there's one particular product that is costing so much to produce and giving very low profit margin. What happened and why did it happen? We are spending so much money on a particular product that is not giving us better revenue and thereby causing us to have reduction in our revenue. What happened and why did it happen? This is what a data analyst gets to do. But what a data scientist will be able to do now is a data scientist will be able to take all this and take it a step further. A data scientist will be able to do the what happened, why did it happen, then what will happen. And it's in technical terms, that is the diagnostics, the descriptive, and the predictive analysis. So a data scientist is able to predict what is going to happen in the future. So in the case of that particular period that is not doing very well, a data scientist is able to take this same information, load it into a machine model, which is something you will learn, load it into a machine model, and that machine model will be able to predict outcome of particular situations, taking trends and insights from all the millions of information loaded into it, and be able to predict that also if you reduce the total amount spent on this particular product that is expensive to produce, and take this capital to this particular product that is lesser to produce and have an average consumption rate or purchase rate, and you're able to do a marketing campaign of about 50% of your current marketing campaign or marketing budget, by the end of 2025, your profit will be able to increase by 400%. That is data speaking from the angle of a data scientist. A data scientist is going to be able to predict what is going to happen in the future. And the only thing, majority of the thing you need in this space is having the skill or willing to learn statistics, because that's will come into a lot of play when you are doing your analysis. Ability to learn statistics, even if you don't know anything about it, or you are open to learning it, and also open to learning Python programming for a data scientist. And if you're looking at the areas where you get to learn as a data scientist, you have the statistics, you have the forecasting and predictive analysis using Microsoft Excel, then you have SQL. Then you also have Tableau for data analysis. Then you have your Python programming for everything you get to do, your explorative data analysis, your machine learning to build and train your machine models, both the supervised and the unsupervised models. Then you have what we call computer vision. Computer vision is a very good example of computer vision is this particular camera looking at me. So in this camera, you could see me and my backdrop. But whatever activity that is going on behind me, you can't see that. And that is because the camera from this particular meeting has been encrypted by a data scientist to identify only me, human-like figure. If any human being can pass behind me now, the camera is going to capture it. That is the work of a data scientist. I'm sure some of us must have been seeing this all along on social media. This is an example of data scientists and what they get to do, right? Like I said, you're working on projects, working on these things, and these are the opportunities that you will learn or have the opportunity to learn as a data scientist. And one very good advantage of being a data scientist is, you see, when you become a data scientist, you are open, considering you'll be doing the diagnostics and the descriptives, and also the predictive. This will open you up to the opportunities of working in all roles that is available to a data analyst. That is the major advantage that you have as a data scientist. But then it will require you to learn statistics and also to learn Python programming. Now, the next one we're talking about now is the financial analyst. A financial analyst, another word for that is still a data analyst, but with a focus on financial space or the financial activities. So if you see yourself being a financial analyst and you have accounting background and you see yourself wanting to becoming a financial analyst, you are becoming a financial analyst to help organization make smarter money decisions. So when a company is looking to buy a particular production machine, is looking to buy another company from maybe acquisition, before they will churn out thousands of dollars to acquire this machinery, production machinery, or another branch or another organization, before they churn out this money, they will always consult a financial analyst. What a financial analyst will do is the financial analyst will run the numbers, incorporate, look at the capital they're looking to invest, look at the economy, look at the inflation rate, look at the benefits, look at the law of depreciation that will kick in, look at the what was the word for it now? I lost the word for it. When you want to service charge, like when you want to reinvest back into maintenance. Yes, that's the word, maintenance. When you want to maintain, cost of maintenance, and so many more, they'll consider all these things for the span of 1 year, even 6 months. So what a financial model would do is, a financial analyst would do is, a financial analyst will be able to gather all this information and build what we call a financial model. And when they build a financial model will incorporate everything I've mentioned, even much more, to be able to dictate what is going to happen by end of a calendar year, what is going to be the worst case scenario, what is going to be the best case, and what's going to be the base case. Like, this is the worst thing that can happen. This is the best thing that can happen. Then on the average, this is our standing point. With figures, your profit, your loss, your standard income, what is it going to look like at the end of 1 year? What is it going to look like at the end of 2, 3, even 5 years? So with this information, a company will be able to have that fantastic data-driven result to be able to take action on. So this is something we should be looking at diving into, investing into, because if you look at it, maybe the first year, we've not been able to get our revenue back, but our customer base is going to increase by 100%. Our production capacity is going to increase by 1,000%. This will give us opportunity to even expand our current facility, which is growth. So even though we don't have returns back on our investments yet for the first 1 year, if you look at the second or the third year, we are very good. So this is something that we can dive into. This is making smarter decisions, but you just don't go into that blindly. You consult a financial analyst. They are the professionals that will help organization make this one. And it's not, a financial analyst is not demanded to only work in financial institutions. Like I said, a manufacturing company buys a lot. We have retail companies that make a whole lot of heavy investment in that sector, right? So a financial analyst can work in any space as well, just like a data analyst. And if you can see the fact that you'll be learning problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL, this will open you up to opportunities to work in roles, some of the roles that a data analyst can also work in, right? And the same is applicable for the HR analyst. The HR analyst also, so Ola, just to answer your question quickly, all the programs, you have 6 months in class training, then 2 months internship. All the programs, there is no exception. Okay. Now, the same thing is also applicable to the HR analyst. The HR analyst also is still a data analyst, but a data analyst with a focus on people's data, people's information, how to help people within an organization get best value from the company, and also to help the company get best value from the people that are working with them, right? This is something that the HR professional would do. For example, there's this particular organization that you have people, they employ like all around the year. They spend so much money to employ people, and as they're employing, people don't stay more than 2 months, they're out. They don't stay more than 2 months, they're out. Even though when there are a lot of good things from the perspective of the organization that should make people stay within the organization, but people are not staying. They come 2, 3 months, they are out the door, which should keep them employing all the time, not giving them the ability to actually structurally grow. Now, this part is a major problem that I see a lot of organizations face. And the only professional that is really wired and equipped to solve this problem is the HR analyst. And what they will be doing is they will do something as simple as employee attrition, to be able to build a dashboard, work around it, identify key reasons why these people are leaving. What might be the trigger? What might be the factor that are influencing people to leave the organization? There might be a lot of reasons. But to dive deep into the analysis, this is the way you see HR analysts dive into the super strengths and say, oh, I'm going to solve this problem. Now, you see everything that I've talked about that you will learn in this space, either as a data analyst, a data scientist, the data engineer, even in the cybersecurity. Now, the last one that I have is the cybersecurity analyst. Now, this particular program is also very fantastic career path that you have a lot of professionals without technical background being able to dive into this and come out in a very fantastic spot. And the reason is because if you look at the career path being a cybersecurity analyst is a professional that is tasked with securing our information within an organization or within a company. And I'll tell you a very good example. We all have our mobile phones. We'll probably join with this meeting with our mobile phones or from our laptop. These devices have passwords. Maybe fingerprints, PIN number, or whatever. They all have security encrypted that lock it away from people that should not have access to it. Now, this is exactly who a cybersecurity analyst is. Locking the information within an organization to make sure that people that shouldn't have access to it do not have access to it. All right, this is where exactly where cybersecurity analyst is. And to be this person, this is where you have to go through the program. And the program itself is going to now open you up to learning things, because the cybersecurity world is actually pretty a robust one. And what the program will give to you is, number one, is going to give you the ability to learn and becoming a penetration tester. Now, a short word for penetration tester is, you must have heard about the word hackers. Oh, that person is a hacker. This person is a hacker. Something like that. This is who a penetration tester is. And what they get to do is they are equipped with the skill of testing vulnerabilities, loopholes, some things that are not so sufficient, not so solid within a network, to make sure that the network is solid. And if the network is not solid, they'll be able to make recommendations and help the organization patch those things. And a very realistic example is, see, back in Nigeria, when we lock the door, consciously or unconsciously, some of us will still try to open the door to pry it open to see, are you locked or you are shaking? That's something some of us we grew up with. This is you locking the door and still performing your penetration testing to see if that door is secure or if it is not. Now, in a situation whereby you shake the door came off, like door came out itself, that is an issue. And what do? You reach out to the professional that will fix that door to make sure that somebody that does not have access, shouldn't have access to your house, will not just get access to it. Right? This is who is penetration tester is. And the program itself will teach you using real world projects, using different tools like Metasploit to set for your penetration testing, using your Kali to set up your IDE environment to be able to perform a penetration testing. Then also you have what we call the SOC analyst. SOC analyst in form of Security Operations Center analyst. What this person does is, so it's in the same example of the house, you trying to open the door. So the SOC analyst now is inside the house. We have the windows, we have the doors. Now somebody is trying to break in from a window. You hear they hit something on the window, like bah, glass shattered. That is them trying to have access into the house. And what do you do as the owner of the house? You will run to that place and try to fend off that person trying to get access from your window to your house. This is exactly who a SOC analyst is. They are the one that stays within an organization and try to defend any sort of penetration coming into the organization. And how do you do this? You learn different tools. You have your Wireshark to be able to analyze your network analysis. So if there's any sort of fluctuation, any sort of intending attack that is looking to attack your organization, your Wireshark will be able to identify all those things and escalate situations like that. You know exactly how to respond to situations like that, and even isolate situations like, so in case whereby the person was able to break into the house, probably maybe they broke into through the bedroom, they will never be able to leave that bedroom. They will only be able to stay in the bedroom and do whatever damage they want to do. They will never get access into the main house. They will stay inside that bedroom. This is exactly who a SOC analyst is. And to be this person, these are the things you get to learn hands-on within the program. Just the same way every other person have been able to walk through programs, walk through projects, and be able to show you what they've been able to do in 3 months. Now, the last but not the least that we have for the cybersecurity is governance, risk, and compliance specialist. Now, what this professional they are to do is, they are the ones that is in charge of creating a simplified security framework that will help everybody within the organization to follow rules and guidelines to make sure that things that should not have access, people should not have access to, they don't have access to it. Level of hierarchy of information they'll be able to have that and follow it accordingly. And situations whereby somebody go against rule, definitely there's a rule that is guiding, so you know exactly what to do in situations like that. Now, by the time you're done with the cybersecurity program, this is exactly what you'll be able to learn. You'll be able to have the skill, way more than enough to see yourself getting a job as a penetration tester, be able to have enough skill to get a job as a SOC analyst. And the last one is be able to have a job as a GRC specialist. So by the time you're done, you can't do the three of them. You can only do one. So by the time you're done, you have this better understanding of who or what you really enjoy during the course of the program and which one you'll be looking to build your career upon. Now, you see everything that I've talked about, all the programs, everything you will learn. This is just 50% of what you will learn from Tenalytics. 50%. The other 50% is what we call the employability. So you see everything that they walk you through. This project that they are doing is just 50%. Projects and everything they are doing in class is 50%. The other 50% that we have is what we call the employability skills. And what do you mean by employability skills? The first on that list is CV revamp and CV review. So you see, when you have the skill, you're a fantastic data engineer. You know exactly how to do everything that you need to do as a data engineer. But how does it convert to getting you a job? And to be able to apply to job, you need a CV to be able to showcase those particular profession or skill that you have. This is where you learn how to revamp your CV. But what we do for you in this case is we have in-house professional that will take your CV and revamp it for you. Now, after revamping it for you, you'll now go ahead, have a session with him, and he'll walk you through how to now further build that CV, revamp the CV, and tailor that CV to any job you're applying to. So when you see yourself applying to 10 jobs, you're applying to 10 jobs with 10 different CVs. The purpose and the reason and why that is important, you get to learn them when you are in the program. Then you also have what we call the LinkedIn optimization. If you heard the guy that walked around the business analysis, he was able to tell you that somebody reached out to him via LinkedIn looking to see, he didn't further complete on that statement. Probably maybe I missed it. On definitely that's something you have opportunities to, because when you're looking at getting into the tech space, sending out your CV is not the only thing you want to do. You want to have a professional portfolio, professional profile to showcase everything that you are. And when you have your LinkedIn optimized, when any company is looking to search, when any HR professional is looking to search for, let's say, a data analyst that has experience using Power BI and SQL, be able to use those two as a major tool. And you have your profile, you have all these things all around your profile. You know exactly where to put this profile project you've worked on. This will further give that hiring manager a better understanding. Oh, so this person will work on this project using this tool that I'm looking for. How about I reach out to this person and see if this person can work for me? That is exactly the advantage that your LinkedIn optimization will give to you. And what we have in that session is you have live multiple sessions that will teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn. Then you also have navigating the job market. This particular session is broken down into different parts. Some parts we have job boards that are premium. You don't normally have access to it. You never see jobs on this website. You never see them anywhere. They are only on this website because they are premium. So what we did was we paid to this premium website. We scrape all the informations there, and we bring the jobs to your classroom. So from your classroom, you will be able to 100% apply to this job without paying anybody anything, because with analytics, we've been able to pay to these job boards. Now, you'll be able to learn how to apply to jobs, definitely. Then also, when you're not busy applying to the jobs that will bring to you, you also have sessions that will teach you where and how to apply to these jobs. You will be able to do that. And some of the sessions that we also have students that have been able to get a job. You bring them back into your classes and they walk you through how they've been able to get a job, what they did exactly that got them the job, having this first-hand insiders information. And when you apply to job, definitely we expect you to get called for an interview. And when that happens, you have the opportunity to book a one-on-one session that will have a professional come into that same class with you, prepare you for that interview you're looking to go for before you get into it. giving you tips and idea on insight on what you do, how to do it, how to answer questions and all those things, even though you must have learned them during the course of your program. And definitely when you land a job, the company is readily available to issue you reference letter and even recommendation letter. Then for those that have gotten a job, even while in training or even after the training, there's always 100% on the job support that are able to give to you, like, okay, you've gotten a job or you have some tasks to complete and you don't really know the process to go ahead with it. We are always there for you to reach out to us. Even after your program, reach out and be able to have a professional come on board and solve this challenge for you. Then considering you're just transitioning, something that is totally priceless is a mentor's guidance. If we're looking to transition, I believe most of us must have been a a scapegoat to self-learning, probably maybe YouTube learning or Udemy or Coursera. You tend to just do this course and you're just there for a long time. You don't have anybody to ask questions from. This is something that we've all been through. I've been there myself. So having a mentor walk you through how to do things. Okay, you're just getting into this space. These are where you should position yourself. Sometimes you get to a stage whereby you have this imposter syndrome, you don't know what you know. How do you go ahead? You have professionals that have been to this space and they've been able to surmount, get through that phase and see themselves positioned in a very fantastic space. So these are the things you get to get advantage of from professionals in the industry coming to your classes and show you how to get things done. Then for those that are looking to transition and get skill, offer their skills to both individual and organization at the same time, you have a session with a professional that will walk you through how to optimize your Upwork profile to facilitate you getting opportunities from both individuals and organization at the same time, right? Now, the one we'll be talking about now is by the time you're done with your program, you have the opportunity to have 10 analytics and Amdari on your CV. And the reason for that is your 6-month in-class training will be done with 10 analytics and your 2-month internship where you get to work on projects in a very much online settings also, but in a much more coordinated environment. That will be done with Amdari. Both companies are registered in UK, and both companies are also registered in Canada. All right. So wherever you're coming from, you have the opportunity to get reference from these two companies, and because they will also be on your CV. Now, by the time you're done with your program, you'll also be getting a certificate of a master certificate showing that you've been able to master the program, and your certificate is actually being accredited by American Council of Training and Development, that's ACTD, right? And if you're looking, oh, so now that I know everything that I've talked about, how exactly do I start? What are the next steps for me to take? Right? What are the next things for me to take? I want to become a data scientist. I want to say I saw a lot of data analysts, data scientists, and business analysts in the chat. How exactly do I transition to becoming this person? Now, the next class that we have is starting 7th of June, which is on Saturday. So if you're looking to be part of this particular class starting, what you want to do is you want to try as much as possible to register and secure your spot. And when you're looking at registering, the original cost for the program is actually 900 US dollars. Okay, but that price has been discounted for the first 20 people to register. We call that early bird discount. For the next 20 people to register, you have the ability to pay 750 US dollars. So the 900, you don't have, that is being discounted to 750. And that 750, you have the opportunity to even spread that 750 and pay in instrumental. So you can spread that 750 and pay up to 5 times, right? That will be 150 US dollars every month for 5 months. If you are joining from UK, 750 is equivalent to 615 pounds. Okay, and you have the opportunity, if you're looking to spread your payments, you have the ability to spread your payments to pay 123 pounds every month for 5 months. Okay, so even when the program is starting this Saturday, all you need to do is pay 150 US dollars or pay 123 pounds, or pay, if you are joining from Nigeria, pay 255, which is equivalent to 150 US dollars or 123 pounds. Pay 255,000 naira and be able to join the class starting by Saturday. If you are joining anywhere from Europe, that's $150 is equivalent to 146 euros, right? So that is all you need to do. Once you pay that first tranche, you'll be able to get yourself into the class and start to get same value that you've been able to see everybody that came into this program showcase their projects. You'll be able to have yourself be in the same position and see yourself transitioning and begin the journey that you've been wanting to start from, right? And just like I said, we have loads of people that have been able to go through the program and see themselves getting a job even without having prior technical background, right? So you want to try as much as possible to try secure spot. My colleagues are sharing the link in the chat box. So try as much as possible to click on that. Is a mainstack.me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll walk you through how you'll be able to make your payment. So if you see the link that is being shared in the chat box, if you click on that particular link, it should take you to the enrollment center. So let me share something else. And let me share how you'll be able to make your payment. Then when I'm done sharing how you'll be able to make your payment, I'll attend to the questions that we have in the chat box. Okay, so once you click on that particular link that is being shared in the chat box, it will bring you to the enrollment center, right? If you have questions, for example, you don't have total understanding of what you're looking to do, you don't know, you are confused, because I saw when Antonia was working on the project, there was a particular person, I think Phil, in the chat box. He said now he's confused about which of the program he should be going for. Fantastic. That is normal. So what we also have access to is you also have the access to speak with a professional once you've been able to secure a spot. Now, I'll also walk you through how you'll be able to do that. So if you come on this particular enrollment center, you want to scroll down to the program. So you see we have the price is being discounted to 750 and the class is starting for 7th of June. After 7th of June, the next class after that is starting by 5th of July. For the sake of those that are in this particular session, you have the discount that this particular discount covers for those starting in June and those looking to start by July. So even if you want to start, but Saturday is too close for you, have a lot of things that you need to put in place. You still have the ability to secure a spot, pay that $150 and indicate that you're starting by 5th of July. This will facilitate the discount covers for this 100%. And if you're looking at any of the program, if you're looking at the HR project management, which Tony walk you through, this is where you register for it. You click on register for EPSM, you have the business analysis program. This is also the cybersecurity, the data analyst program, the data engineering, which Antonio will walk you through. So what you want to just do is you click on the register for any of the program. If it's the data engineering, you click on register for DE. There's the financial analyst, you click for register for FA. The full stack data science is register for full stack data science program. If it's the HR, register for HRA, right? So whichever one you're looking to go for, you have the ability to click on it and register. So for the sake of this illustration, let me click on register for APSM. All right. So once you click on that, it will open up and show you how you'll be able to make your payment. So I'll be showing you how. So what you want to do is you want to click on any of the program that you want to register for. Once you click on that, it will open up this page for you. And this is where you make your payment. The first thing you want to notice, so you see we have we have 7 seats left. So either before or by, I think tomorrow is the last day. So it's either we get these seats are sold by tomorrow or we have the discounted hands by tomorrow. All right. And if you're looking at making your payments, but looking to save yourself additional discount. So if you're looking to pay one time, or if you're looking to pay 2 times, instead of you paying $750, you get to pay 700, saving yourself additional $50. So if what you want to do is whichever option that works for you, you have the 1 time or the 2 times. If you pay 1 time or 2 times, you'll be saving yourself additional $50, like I said. But if that will not be comfortable for you, you have the option to pay 3 times, option to pay 4 times, or even pay up to 5 times. And that will be you paying $150. every month for 5 months. Is also, if you're looking to pay in pounds, that's in GBP, same thing, like I said earlier, is going to be 123 pounds every month for 5 months. If you're looking to pay in euros, so let me select euros. In euros, like I said earlier also, is 146 euros every month for 5 months. If you're looking to also pay in Naira, it's not excluded, and you can pay directly using your Nigerian bank card. Is not limited. There's no restriction. So wherever you're joining from, the currency will automatically appear in the currency of wherever you're joining from, and you'll be able to pay directly from the website. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you select the option that works for you. Click on secure your spot. So once you click on secure your seat, which is here, I believe everybody can see this particular orange button. Select the option that works for you. Click on secure your seat. Okay, the Naira is 255,000 in Naira. You get to pay that every month for 5 months. The total is 1.275. That's the total of the amount you'll be paying. So once you click on secure your seat, you have the opportunity to see the amount you'll be paying every month for 5 months. That's 255,000 Naira every month for 5 months. So you pay your first money today. The next deduction is going to be 4th of July, which is it is exactly a month after now. So you want to click on proceed. Once you click on proceed, you input your name, you input your email address, whatever email address you have. Make sure you have access to this email address. You input your email address, you enter your phone number if you so desire, then you click on proceed. Yes, it will ask you if you can confirm your email is good because your receipt will be sent to that email. So you want to make sure your email is correct. If everything looks good, you tell it it's good, then you click on looks good. Then you click on pay with debit card or credit card. Then you'll be able to pay directly from the website, right? So this will give you opportunity to pay directly from the website using your bank card. And what you want to do is immediately you are done with your payment, you want to go back to that email address that your payment receipt has been sent to. That's the one you input earlier. And once you have that, you want to go to, so let me drag this out of the way. Okay, where's that time? Okay, we want to come back to this enrollment center. Let me take this a little bit back. Okay, just above the programs, you see registration form. You see where they say registration form, just up below it, you see upload your receipt here. So once you've been able to make your payment, go to your email or go to your financial institution, take a screenshot of that receipt. Come to this where they said upload your receipt here. Click on this place, complete the form, upload your receipt, submit. In a situation whereby you don't have total understanding of what you want to do yet, also, this is the point whereby you will select. So instead of you selecting any of the program, even though you paid through the business analysis program, you still have the option to select speak with a professional. And when you select that speak with a professional, you upload your receipt, you submit. Somebody within the team, one of the professionals within the team, come onto a session with you and understand your background, look at everything that you've been able to do, and be able to advise which of the program you should be going for. Right? So what you want to do to achieve this is make your payment, take a screenshot of that receipt, come to this place, upload your receipt, and when it's time for you to say which of the program you want to go for, select speak with a professional, submit, and you have a professional that will schedule a time with you and have the opportunity to jump on a one-on-one session with you and ask whatever question that you have, all right? So I believe that is how you'll be able to secure a spot. So try as much as possible to get this done because this discount is either is ending tonight or is ending tomorrow night. So you don't want to miss out on the discount. Take advantage of it while you still have it and give yourself that opportunity to transition and get yourself into that spot, all right? So I think now we'll be looking at questions from any question that we have. But while I do that, I also want to share the screen. And if you have any question, like I said earlier, drop that in the chat box and I'll be looking through the chat box. I have a lot of questions in the chat box. So I'm looking through the chat box to be able to get answers to all the questions that you have. Right. Please, can anyone without IT background do so? Chantel? Yes, the answer to that question is yes. If you don't have any background, you don't need any sort of background to be able to transition to any of the roles, any of the job that we are showcasing. Right. So if you have question, you want to drop that in the chat box. So when I get there. Okay, so Ola asked a question. I believe that answer has been given. Amdari is a sister company to Analytics. It's not the same thing, but it's a sister company. All right. Is there any reason that can make someone go through this program without achieving it? And what are the steps it takes to ensure? All right, so Lascelles is asking, is there any reason that can make someone go through this program with, especially data science, without achieving it? And what are the steps to take to ensure each student do well? So we have a very inclusive environment, right? Now, one of the reasons that might make a student go through the program, I will not understand is number one, you don't attend classes. You don't attend classes, you don't watch your videos. That is one. Then number two, you probably have some personal challenges because you have students that have some personal challenges and mentally they will not be able to take the program. Whatever, even if they join the class, they will not have that ability. So what we do is they will withdraw till when it is okay for them to start. And by that time, we review everything and put them in a position to help them learn efficiently. And for those that don't join the class, we'll look at the reasons. We'll have meetings with the board to understand what are the challenges that you're having. Is it work? Is it something? Then if it's just something that it is not so, it is just by the way. Trust me, there are a lot of people that have been able to transition and they used to be in your position. So what we do is you have a professional that will speak with you and walk you through these challenges you're having to solve this particular challenge that you might be having. All right. For data engineers, I hope that answered your question. For data engineer that doesn't have a cross-functional like data scientist, which can also do data analysis. So Janet, for the data engineer, does that okay? I don't quite understand your question, Janet. But I think what you're trying to say is for somebody that does not have a technical background, can you do data analysis? The answer to that is yes. All right, so you have a 6 months in-class training on Saturdays. And you have 3 hours for each Saturday to be able to walk through programs. And you also have self-paced, which you get access to Sunday to Monday. And it's a watch me do it video where you get to watch, you practice, you learn. If you have challenges, you bring those challenges to your instructor and he or she will be able to solve this for you. Right? Hola, it's more yes. So Ola, okay, all right. I think that was the actual answer to that. Why is Power BI not learn data science? When this show? So Bamdili is asking why is there Power BI in data science? So as a data scientist, if you heard what I was talking about that, you're more focused on predictive analysis. You're predicting the future. No company will hire a data scientist to do only the job of a data analyst because the data scientist earn way more higher. And the reason why I have a data analyst learn both of them is because this is the main field for a data analyst. They are analysts. They are analysts. They work on Power BI and they work on Tableau. And the reason why they are learning both is because many organizations, you see them say they use Power BI. Why some will tell you they don't use Power BI, they use Tableau. So to not to limit you as a data analyst, this is why I learn both of them. As a data scientist, you are not in that category, working more in a predictive aspect, but still, you still have the Tableau skills. And these are transferable skills. If you are very good in Tableau, there are a lot of transferable skills you're able to transfer to Power BI. Okay, I hope that answered your questions. Right, are there globally recognized certifications we need to take after hands-on? So the tech space, this question is from Brown. The tech space is very heavy on your technical know-how. So you see the projects that Antonia and even Antonio has been able to work on. These are the things that you see recruiters look out for. They want to see what you've been able to do and how you've been able to do it. Because your certificate is not bringing any value to their company. But your skill, all the things you see Antonia do, these are skills that are 100% valuable. And these are what organizations are looking for. That is why your training is heavy on your technical know-how. And by the time you're done, you'll be able to have all these projects in your portfolio to showcase things you've been able to do. So in the tech space, there's a lot more dependency on your technical know-how, on things you've been able to do, and how you've been able to help organizations, rather than the papers and the certifications that you have, because anybody can prepare for an exam and pass it, okay? And employers know that. So that's why they focus more on skills, right? Some companies are for long-term experience. How do I account for? So these are some of the things you will learn in your mentorship sessions, where you learn how to. No skill is a waste. Like I said, like you can see, the name keeps skipping my head. The gentleman that worked on the business analysis as a business analyst that worked on product analysis, you'll be able to see that he used to be a customer success rep. By the time it's done, you'll be able to have those you'll be able to fish out transferable skills in this department and leverage them into what you do now currently. Okay. I think the next question that I have. Okay. Okay, so the next question that I have is, I'm looking for jobs in Canada. Does they also have access to Canada? Okay, so I think this is also from Bami. Bami, does the Analytic have access? So like I said, the company is registered in Canada, and yes, you have access to not just Canada, but even global job markets. Okay, you have access to all those things. They teach you where and how to have access to all these programs, all these jobs, where to search for them, and how exactly to search for them. Fitz said, I think Fitz, I've spoken with you before. I think I spoke with you in a one-on-one. I want to switch from data science to data engineering. Who can help me to do that? Okay, Fitz, I will have that noted and we'll get you moved to the data engineering program. Deborah said, can I interchange classes? Interchange the classes time? No, so you can't interchange the classes time. So what you always able to do is, let's say you join the 11 a.m. session and that does not work for you after attending one or two, you have the ability to switch to the other one. 100% you can do that, but you cannot go back and forth, okay? But in the case whereby you miss the class, remember, all your classes are recorded and you have access to them, okay? Right, I think I've answered the certification question. Is there a way you can allow someone pay every month to the end of the month? Okay, no, also love it. It's a fixed amount, and we made it that comfortable for our students to be able to register. And if you could see that even the 150, the fact that even spreading the payment at the end of the fifth month, the price still remains 750. There's a lot of organizations that will tell you that you breaking down your payment, you have to pay some certain percentage extra. But we are not particular about that. We are particular about being able to have you transition and be able to make it easy for you to pay while we impart knowledge onto you. Right. Josiah said I was able to make plans to secure my seat for the business analyst program, but I'm yet to upload my receipt. Though I dropped a copy of the receipt to the Tenor WhatsApp platform, hope it's not an issue. I would like to commence my training. All right, so I think Iyano will follow up on that and help you upload the receipt, but you need to upload the receipt yourself, okay? Iyano will walk you through how that will be possible. Okay, is there a way you can allow? Okay, I think I've answered this. Okay, so I think I've answered all the questions. Does anybody have any question, or I'm free to run? Are we good? Do we have clarity? And we want to try as much as possible to take advantage of the discounts that we have. Okay, can we have a conversation with you guys? Anyone needs? Yes, so Brown, I mentioned that earlier. So you see the way the program is structured is very much open. Try as much as possible to secure a spot. Everybody here is, I believe everybody here is looking to transition. So try as much as possible to secure a spot, either pay the 150, the 150 US dollars, or 255,000 naira, or the 1 to 3 pounds, whichever of the currency that you're joining from. Pay that. Then when it comes to uploading, selecting the program, speak with a professional. Then after speaking with a professional, if everything they are looking at, everything we are looking at, everything you're looking at doing, it does not really match, 100%, you have the ability to ask for a refund and you get your 100% refund back. If you paid 150 US dollars, you get 150 US dollars back, right? That is something you'll be able to do just for so you don't miss out on the discount. Because if you're looking at securing a session with a professional, it might take time. And in that case, the discount might be over and you understand. So try as much as possible, book your slot, and when you upload your receipt, say speak with a professional. The payment gateway is not opening. Okay, let me confirm that from my end. What program are you looking to go for? What program are you looking to go for, Paul? Are you able to drop that in the chat so I'll be able to see that? So I'll be able to check the program that you're talking about. All right, Praise. Praise, you said, what's the difference between data science and data analysis? Praise, I think I spoke with you in a crisis session, if I'm right. And I think you registered for the data analyst program. And the data analyst is the professional that basically analyze data to help organization take informed decision, while the data scientist help predict situations that will happen in the future. That is who a data analyst and a data scientist is. I believe you were in a crisis session. I know so because I think I spoke with you. And I don't forget people easily like that. Okay, I don't know which program you're looking to pay for, but it is showing on my end. So I think Paul said it is paid, but I can't access the payment enrollment platform. Okay, no. So Paul, what you want to do is, okay, I think Ian will follow up with you. Ian will follow up with you. Can you drop your contact so that complete the form? Make sure you complete the form so that somebody from the team will be able to follow up with you conveniently, okay? Make sure you complete the form so that they'll be able to come follow up with you. If you don't have access to the form, okay, fantastic. Once you drop your number, they'll be able to follow up with you. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Any question before we end the session? We've been here for about 2 hours, 30 minutes. Okay. Do we have questions? Any more questions before we end the session? Then if you want to speak, you might want to use the raise hand icon so I can ask you to unmute and you ask a question before we end the session. Okay, so I don't think anybody has any question. I believe okay, I think I have some more questions. Okay, Fitz, I'll look into this. Let me have this noted. All right, so Fitz, you're moving to data engineering, is that correct? So I have this noted and they will have you switched. So iPhone said, what is your success rate in placement? So from the data that we have, according to our analysis and report for the first quarter of 2025, our success rate currently stands as 88%. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Yanolua has answered that for you. So we're currently at 88%. So for those in EST, that EST, the 11 a.m. West African time is going to be 6 a.m. EST. And for those, for the 10 a.m., that's going to be 12 noon EST. Okay. So whichever one that work for you, and it's on Saturday. Okay. All right. So Fit, I think I've noted that down. We'll have that looked into, reach out to you and get that sorted. Okay, so I think we've been able to answer all the questions. Thank you. If you haven't completed the form, please scroll up so you can complete the form. You have access to this recording. All the information shared, you get access to them 100%. And in situations whereby you're looking to secure a spot, try as much as possible to book your slot, make your initial payment, either $150 or any currency that you're looking to pay from, upload your receipt, then we'll be able to have you in a class. If you're looking to also start in July, if you're also looking to start in July, book your slot, make the payment, take advantage of the discounts, and yes, you start by July. You have the opportunity. Then Ola said, must it be 8 months? Yes, it's 8 months, 2 months, 6 months in class training, and 2 months internship. But that does not mean you cannot land a job while you're in the program. Okay. No, so you cannot complete the program before 8 months. Most of the reason why you might want to complete the program is because you want to get a job. And our students are able to start applying to jobs. As you could see, if you join the session before the program started, you'll be able to see that by 2 months into your program, you have hands-on skills already, hands-on that you'll be able to have you applying to jobs and getting a job before 8 months, the span of your duration. Okay, I think we are at the end of, I study data, I would like to switch careers, take on data analytics, will I be able to secure a job with just the certification of from the program? So yes, like I said, it's not about certificates. It's always about what you can do and how exactly you can get it done and what value you bring into the organization, which is what the program will give to you, okay? So yes, you'll be able to get a job doesn't matter what you did, mechanical engineering, industrial chemistry, math and statistics, pure and applied mathematics. It does not matter what you did in your MSc, even in your MSc level. So far, you're able to transition into a tech role and you have the tech skills. The tech skills you get to the job, not whatever you must have done in your MSc or BSc level, okay? Right. All right, so I'm going to say that again. The lessons, your classes, your live classes start on Saturday. Every Saturday, you have that 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. That 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time is, okay, Nigerian time, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you have another one for 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday also. The internship is Canada alone. No, your internship is 100% online. So wherever you're joining from, you're able to participate in the internship. It is 100% virtual in a coordinated environment. So I think if you haven't completed the form, try as much as possible to complete the form. If you haven't made your payments, try as much as possible to make your payment so you don't lose out on the discount. The discount is either ending tonight or ending tomorrow because the program starts on Saturday. And if you cannot start on Saturday, you're looking to start by July, 5th of July. The discount also still covers for that. Make your payment and indicate you're starting by July. Then in a situation whereby you are confused about the program you want to go for, make your payment, upload your receipt, then indicate you want to speak with a professional. That way, you will have a session with a professional that will walk you through how to get things done and which of these career paths is the best one for you, considering everything you've done, your work experience, your personal traits, your educational experience, all those backgrounds, they will look at it from a professional perspective and they'll be able to guide you to which of the program you should be going for, okay? So, with that being said, I'll be looking forward to see each and every one of you join the program in either by June or by July. And iPhone, the time in Canada is 10 a.m. MST, Mountain Standard Time. Okay, that's the time. And you should be if you're still having confusion, if you're joining from Canada, just take 11 a.m. West African time. What time is it in my current time zone? It will be able to give you the exact time. Okay. Right. So, and if you need more information, make sure you complete the form. You'll be able to have access to any of our customer support and you'll be able to get support from them 100%. So, with that being said, thank you to each and every one of you for being part of this session. We'll spend a whopping 2 hours, 40 minutes, and we'll be looking forward to have you in the class, we're able to have you impart knowledge into your career path and help you transition from wherever you are to landing your first job in the tech space. So on behalf of myself, I'm my CEO, Chukwemeka Kaipa, and I'm the founder of Analytics, Mr. Daisy Suleiman, and co-founder of Analytics, Mr. Vimina Ipro. I say thank you for being here, and I'll see each and every one of you in class by June or by July. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Cheers and bye for now.